Right, Jeannie, and even though Jacksonville has added more than 1,000 cases in just a week, Mayor Lenny Curry today says he will not make masks mandatory in public. Governor Ron DeSantis has left that decision up to mayors statewide. Today in a press conference, Curry also blasted what he called inaccurate media reports about the city's hospital capacity. Eliza Powell is on your side live. And Eliza, what do we know about the mayor's numbers?
Well, we know that Mayor Lenny Curry is adamant that there aren't any surges in hospitalizations related to COVID-19 and that ICU beds aren't filling up. Over the weekend, Mayor Lenny Curry wrote in a series of tweets the irresponsible reporting of rising COVID-19 related hospital admissions.
The hospital capacities right now are normal.
The mayor says there are only 14 patients in the ICU for coronavirus-related reasons in Jacksonville. When asked where he's getting the data, where are you getting this data, and do you have charts or graphs that you can show this, publicly? His response:
Sure. So, thanks for that question. Our emergency operations center, they are in contact daily with local hospitals.
Mayor Curry did recognize Jacksonville is seeing a rise in overall confirmed COVID-19 cases.
Reporting rising cases is fair and accurate. Suggesting people are sick in ICU is not.
Now, the mayor and hospitals cite medical privacy regulations for withholding that information based on COVID hospitalizations. Now, I asked the mayor, how can the public get updated on this information? And he said that people would just have to reach out to the hospitals themselves. Live in downtown Jacksonville, Eliza Powell, First Coast News, on your side.